Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We continue reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. We are reading the chapter 6. We are hearing about the glories of Lord of Advaita Acharya. And we are on text 14 and 15. We have been reading the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So we'll quickly read the translation. Just as the external energy consists of two parts, the efficient cause, nimitta, and the material cause, upadan, Maya being the efficient cause, and Pradhan, the material cause. So Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes two forms to create the material world with the efficient and material causes. So we are going to continue reading the purport by Srila Prabhupada, where we are on the part where Baladev Vidyabhushan, in his commentary to the Vedanta Sutra, he is refuting the atheistic philosophy. So sometimes the material scientists suggest that trees grow from the earth automatically without assistance from a gardener, because that is a tendency of matter. They also consider the intuition of living creatures from birth to be material. But such material tendencies as bodily intuition cannot be accepted as independent, for they suggest the existence of a spirit soul within the body. Actually, neither the tree nor any other body of a living creature has any tendency or intuition. The tendency and intuition exist because the soul is present within the body. In this connection, the example of a car and driver may be given very profitably. The car has a tendency to turn right and left, but one cannot say that the car itself, as matter, turns right and left without the direction of a driver. A material car has neither tendencies nor intuitions independent of the intentions of the driver within the car. The same principle applies for the automatic growth of trees in the forest. The growth takes place because the soul's presence within the tree. So we have heard, or intuition or tendency. We have heard these things, and not only heard it, we have used it also, without understanding what is the truth. We think matter is automatic. We think matter is automatic, and that's the reason the tree is growing. Or that's the tendency. That's the tendency of the tree to grow. But the tree is growing only because the soul is there. Once the soul leaves the tree, it's called a dead tree. So and they are different living creatures. And we say, oh, it's because of the intuition. Yes, but the intuition is there because the soul is there. Otherwise, you're going to call it a dead dog or a dead cat or a dead person. It's the dead is going to be put in front of that once the soul leaves it. So the intuition, the tendency, everything is coming because the presence of the soul. So matter is not independent. We think matter is independent. We are not able to understand. It's because the soul is inside the body. That's why all this is happening. Sometimes foolish people take it for granted that because scorpions are born from heaps of rice, the rice has produced the scorpions. The real fact, however, is that the mother scorpion lays the eggs within the rice, and by the proper fermentation of the rice, the eggs have given birth to several baby scorpions, which in due course come out. This does not mean that the rice gives birth to the scorpions. So the scorpion, we see rice coming out of the scorpion. So someone will say, hey, the rice is the cause for the scorpion to be born. But because they don't understand, the mother scorpion had gone inside, laid the eggs there, and from the eggs, these baby scorpions are coming out. Not that automatically the rice has turned into scorpion now. or the rice gave birth to scorpion. But if we think the rice gave birth to the scorpion, then it's our foolishness. Means we are not doing our research work properly. We are not doing the research work. It was the mother scorpion who went inside. So it needs further research. Means the research is not done enough. Similarly, sometimes bugs are seen to come out from dirty beds. This does not mean, however, that the beds give birth to the bugs. It is the living soul that comes forth, taking advantage of the dirty condition of the bed. There are different kinds of living creatures. Some of them come from embryos, some from eggs, and some from the fermentation of perspiration. Different living creatures have different sources of appearance, but one should not conclude that matter produces such living creatures. So some living entities take birth from embryo, some from eggs. It's different ways, and some from the perspiration. So we have to understand, it's not that suddenly there's a table and the table is the cause of creating all the bacteria. No, living entity is not born from matter. Life comes from life. So that's what we have to understand, that, matter cannot give life to the living entity. So how did the living entity come here? Who put the living entity here? That is a matter of research. The example cited by materialists, that trees, and then also that, okay, now the living entity is here in the matter. Now how to get out? How to get out in the quickest and shortest possible way? That how do I go back home, back to Godhead? The example cited by materialists, that trees automatically come from the earth, follows the same principle. Taking advantage of a certain condition, a living entity comes from the earth. According to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, every living being is forced by divine superintendence to take a certain type of body according to his past deeds. There are many varieties of bodies, and because of a divine arrangement, a living entity takes bodies of different shapes. So why is a living entity born as a dog, or another living entity is born as a hog, another living entity is born as a human being? What's happening? What's happening? So, and who is behind this? Who is the organizing this? That's some living entity is going to be taking birth as a dog, and someone will be taking birth as a hog. Who is arranging all this? That is what we have to understand, that it is all Krishna's plan. It's the law of karma. So laws don't just manufacture. It's not that in Taiwan we are sleeping one day and the next morning, suddenly one law appears by itself and we all are supposed to follow the law. And the law is put into place also automatically. No, somebody writes a law. Somebody writes the law and another person makes sure that the law is enforced. So who is the one? Who's the lawmaker of the law of karma? That's Krishna. And Mother Nature, she enforces it. She makes sure that it's carried out. She facilitates it. So when a person thinks I'm doing this, the I am does not refer to the body. It refers to something more than the body or within the body. As such, the body as it is has neither tendencies nor intuition. The tendencies and intuition belong to the soul within the body. So I am doing this. I am doing this. That is the soul. That is not the body. So all the intuition, all the tendency, everything is there because of the soul. It is there in the body, in the soul, not in the body. Material scientists sometimes suggest that the tendencies of male and female bodies cause their union, and that this is the cause of the birth of the child. But since the Purusha, according to Sankhya philosophy, is always unaffected, where does the tendency to give birth come from? So Sankhya, the atheistic Sankhya, is saying that the soul is the Supreme Lord. The soul is Supreme Lord, and now he has forgotten he's the Lord. And that's why he's an illusion. But the same soul, when he gets liberated, he'll remember, oh, I'm the Supreme Lord. And how can he be put into illusion if he's the Supreme Lord? There is no meaning to saying to the word God then, if God can be put into illusion. So sometimes material scientists give the example that milk turns into curd automatically, and that distilled water pouring from the clouds falls down to earth, produces different kinds of trees, and enters different kinds of flowers and fruits with different fragrances and tastes. Therefore, they say matter produces varieties of material things on its own. In reply to this argument, the same proposition of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that different kinds of living creatures are put into different kinds of bodies by the management of a superior power, is repeated. Under superior superintendence, various souls, according to their past activities, are given a chance to take a particular type of body, such as that of a tree, animal, bird, or beast, and thus their different tendencies develop under these circumstances. So it's not that, oh, automatically the milk has become into yogurt. No, they're the living entity. The bacteria is living. It's not automatic. It's because of the bacteria that it's turned into yogurt now, turned into curd. And it's not that the rain is the cause of different kinds of flowers to come. No, it's because the different souls are there in these different plants. And then who is the one who's arranging it? There is a superior power, and that's the Supreme Lord. The power belongs to the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita 3.22 also further affirms this. Purusha prakritisto hi bhukti prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya sad asad yoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. The soul is given different types of bodies. For example, was soul not given varieties of tree bodies, the different varieties of fruits and flowers could not be produced. Each class of tree produces a particular kind of fruit and flower. It is not that there is no distinction between the different classes. An individual tree does not produce flowers of different colors or fruits of different tastes. These are demarcated classes as we find them among humans, animals, birds, and other species. They are innumerable living entities, and the activities performed in the material world according to the different qualities of the material modes of nature give them a chance to have different kinds of lives. So there are different trees, different types of trees have different types of flowers. They have different types of fruits. It's not that the same tree is going to give you a mango and an apple and a pear and an orange. No, there are different trees for all these things. It's not that on the same tree we find these different kinds of things. So where is this variety coming from? Where is this variety coming from? It's the souls that they, according to their past activities, according to their past karma, they are given new bodies. Then that's the reaction. Even human beings, animals, birds, they're different species. So whatever different activities we have done, whatever karma we have done, whatever desires we have had, based on that, we are getting these different types of material bodies. Different types of material bodies. Is there any comments or questions to this? No. If nothing, we'll stop here for today then. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.